following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
Little day game action here at the Big A. The Angels trying to bounce back after dropping the first two against the Houston Astros, and they will head out on the road after today's ball game, so it'd be nice to pick up a W. It's the final game of the series against the Astros. We welcome you inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and the one thing that we have seen from the Houston Astros is that they have an ability to swing the bat. We knew that going into the season. They struggled early on, and right now the guy that is the reigning American League Rookie of the Year, Carlos Correa, having a terrific season against the Angels.
Well, he's hit the ball very, very well. Take a look at our tools of the trade brought to you by Ram Trucks this season alone for Carlos Correa. You're talking about not only lots of hits, big hits for him, 4 home runs, 16 RBI, the consistent swing. You try to go in, especially down and in, he can turn on the baseball. He's come through with some clutch game-winning hits for the Astros against the Angels. The one thing he has struggled with, though, a little bit this year is the high pitches. Look for Weaver to try to exploit that up in the strike zone if he can, because when he squares up the baseball, he gets that foot down and clears that hip open extremely fast to be able to drive the ball so well.
All right, you mentioned Jared Weaver. He's on the mound for the Angels. Opposing him is left-hander Dallas Keuchel. You look at the overall numbers for Keuchel. Not pretty, but he's got good numbers against the Angels.
Very good numbers against the Angels, and Weaver has good numbers against the Astros, both 20-game winners in the past. And Weaver's been very, very good in the day so far this season. He's 4-0 with an ERA 2.16. You see what he's done at home starts against the Astros. Keuchel, 20-game winner last year, the Cy Young Award winner last year, threw the ball very, very well earlier this year against the Angels. He keeps the ball down. Bring him in the zone. That's your best chance. If you start chasing out of the strike zone, it's going to be difficult.
Let's see if the Halos can pick up the W on getaway day. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back or relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. The 4th of July sales event is going on now at your local Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box, the Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack is back. Taste it before it's gone. By Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. To the Big A, the finale of this 3-game set against the Houston Astros. Astros have taken the first two. As a matter of fact, the Angels have only picked up one victory on the season against Houston, and that was here during their first visit. They dropped the opener Monday 4-2. Last night, the Angels dropped game 2 by the final of 7-1. So it's up to Jared Weaver in this Angels office to try to figure out Dallas Keuchel and the Astros to pick up a W before heading out to Boston. They will have an off day tomorrow in Boston, then take on the Red Sox for 3. Then it's off to Tampa for 4, and then 3 against the Baltimore Orioles. So you got 3 teams offensively on this upcoming road trip that can swing the bats.
Yeah, you got to figure out that offense on the Angels side right now. There's some pretty good swings to the top part of the lineup. It's the bottom part it's really going to have to produce, especially when you go into Fenway Park and then Camden Yards, especially in those 2 ballparks.
The Astros, on the other hand, continue to play good baseball. They are currently 17-8 in the month of June, still 10 back in the American League West. Texas defeated New York yesterday, so they remain 10 back, but their record currently at 41-37. They will go home and have an off day, and then they've got the next 11 at home before the All-Star break. Weaver and the Angels taking the field on this warm afternoon, and we will take a look at A.J. Hinch's starting lineup for the Astros in game number 79 for them. They will have George Springer to lead things off and play right field. Marvin Gonzalez is in left field this afternoon. Jose Altuve at second. Carlos Correa has been an angel killer this year. He's the cleanup hitter at short. Luis Valbuena at third. Carlos Gomez at DH. A.J. Reed's the first baseman. He had the night off last night. Evan Gattis gets a start behind the plate. And Jake Marisnick gets his first start of this series. He is in center field, batting 9th. Taking on Jared Weaver, he's making his 16th start of the year. 6-6 and a 5.24 ERA.
I mentioned how well he has thrown against the Astros here at home and how well he has thrown at home in general in the day here. Been very good for Weaver. 6-6 so far, but my go-to is to be successful for Weaver. Zeros early on. Put up some zeros and allow the offense to get a little more comfortable, and that curveball down. That's below the knees to get some swing and miss or some easy pop-ups in the infield.
We'll take a look at the Angels defensively this afternoon. It's Robinson, Trout, and Calhoun from left to right. Marte, Simmons, Chivatella, and Crone around the infield. Jet Bandy back behind the plate.
And we've a fly ball pitcher in Cole Calhoun out in right field. 23 assists since the start of 2014. 3rd most by any right fielder in the game. And what you're seeing a lot more this season, especially runners not challenging Calhoun, so that's why you only see with 3 outfield assists so far this year. It's because of the respect he has gained, not only with the arm strength, but the accuracy with his throws.
Mentioned the Angels have only won 1 against the Astros. They've dropped 7 of 8 games against the Astros, have not been swept by Houston here at home since June of 2013. So they will go into this afternoon trying to avoid that sweep. It would be the 2nd consecutive since the Angels were swept by the Astros last week at Minute Maid Park. 86 degrees once Weaver throws his first pitch this afternoon. And still a little muggy, although it's supposed to be getting better as far as temperature wise for the weekend here in Southern California. Weaver's first one is a little bit high, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Jared's making his 2nd start, by the way, against Houston this year. Faced him here and ended up taking the loss. Springer chops it foul, evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Springer 7 for 15 in his career versus Weaver. That's a .467 batting average. And the key for Weaver against him really is to throw that slider away, fastball away. He's very good on pitches in. He tries to turn on a lot of pitches on the inner half of the plate.
Slow breaking ball, and it misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. Springer hitting .259 with 16 home runs and 47 runs batted in. 0 for 2 last night, but drew 3 walks and scored a run. That is a foul ball. Tried to hold up on a pitch in. Full count now. Weaver's last start was against Oakland. Gave up 4 runs in 4 2/3 on 8 hits, and 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. That was Friday night. Springer goes down swinging for the first out.
That's a great location for Weaver. That fastball down outer part of the plate. A swing and miss against Springer. Perfect location. 85-mile-an-hour fastball from Weaver. Great spot to get a swing and miss. All important to be able to keep Springer off the bases.
Almost looked as if with that swing, anticipating a break, a late break on something. So 1 out, base is clear, and it's Marwin Gonzalez at the plate. Left fielder today. Colby Rasmus getting the afternoon off. That's an 0-1 count on Gonzalez. Switch hitting infielder. Now playing left. 257 average. 6 home runs and 21 RBIs. Weaver gets rid of it quickly, and Gonzalez retired for out number 2.
It's a wise decision by Weaver. When he fields that bunt, he planted that foot. A lot of times you're still in motion and it becomes a more difficult throw from 3/4 angle as it runs down at the runner. So what Weaver was able to do to get to this baseball and then plant and then make the throw to the first base. Otherwise it's a more difficult throw and a difficult catch for Crone at first base. Well done by Weaver.
So 2 outs, nobody on for Jose Altuve. 10-game hitting streak after going 2 for 4 last night. Also had a couple of stolen bases. .350 batting average, 13 home runs and 45 runs batted in as he pulls the first one foul. And he loves that high pitch, doesn't he?
Great numbers on high pitches. .390 batting average on the high strike. It's third best in baseball.
And that's the location, the outer third of the plate that you want to pitch out to. One would think anyway.
That's what we were talking about last night, that slow curve. We were talking about Weaver going against Altuve, but that exact pitch, when you force him, those hips open up early. He's trying to keep the bat back long enough to make good contact, but it's difficult to do so, especially when you cover such a good job as far as upper part of the strike zone.
Fouled back. Count remains at 0-2.
So you have coverage on the upper part of the strike zone like Altuve does. It's very difficult to stay back on that slow curve going down and away. Even though he does have good numbers, 10 for 30.
Slow breaking ball, and that was up in the zone. He picks up a single to left. So make that an 11-game hitting streak in 32 straight games in which he has reached safely.
Yeah, that looked like a high slider from Weaver. Yeah, a little slider that stays upstairs, and it designed for that pitch going down and away would have been good, but it stayed up. He got his foot down, and hit. He's unbelievable how he keeps his hands up and gets the barrel of the bat on that. Brings the hands up and then level.
Yeah.
That's almost impossible to do.
He's almost enticing you to pitch him inside. And he looks like a guy that you think you could bust hard stuff up and in because he's crowding the plate. But it's almost he's teasing you. He wants you to throw it up in there.
Exactly.
Now you got to pay attention to him over at first. Correa takes a breaking ball for a strike. .265 average now for the Astros shortstop. 13 home runs, 47 runs batted in. 14 doubles, 3 triples.
Big moment already, even early in the game here against Carlos Correa. We showed those numbers in our opening, how well he has hit the Angels this year.
Altuve takes off. The pitch is a strike to throw down to second. A good one, but Altuve gets the foot in there. And that'll be a stolen base, his 21st.
A couple things came into play as Altuve picks the right pitch going on a breaking ball. And the thing also with Correa on a straight steal decided in an unselfish way taking that pitch, even though he's going to be behind the count now 0-2. He has a runner now in scoring position.
Houston last night 3 for 12 with men in scoring position. 0-2. Slow breaking ball, and it's punched foul. Correa last night with a 4 RBI performance, going 3 for 4, including a home run. It's his 4th game against the Angels in which he's had 3 or more runs batted in. That's this year.
Unbelievable what he has done this year. I think, Victor, right now, although Weaver may not be comfortable doing so, a fastball up and in, Usually I'm not a big fan of that 0-2, but up and in fastball should work.
Foul back. He tried it.
A little bit out over the plate. That's the one pitch as far as high pitches he can hit. And his batting average on high pitches this year, not real good for Carlos Correa. A 154 hitter on high strikes, but out over the plate, better chance. You can see those numbers right there. 167, that's exactly where I thought. Up and in, best chance, or up and away.
Breaking ball, line to right field, a base hit. That pitch was up in the zone. Altuve coming in to score. And Correa does it again. An RBI single gives Houston on a 1-0 lead.
And this is one of those sliders, middle again. His absolute spot where he does some serious damage. He let that baseball travel the inside out at that pitch and going the other way. What an impressive swing for Correa. Again, you went right into those zones. We just showed the graphic of where he hits the ball so well, and that's the middle part of the plate, and that's exactly where that slider was.
48th run batted in. Mentioned those 4 games with 3 or more RBIs. Only 2 others have done that against the Angels in one season in franchise history. Ken Griffey Jr. Jim Gentile back at 61. Gentile had 5 games in one season against the Angels.
So far in this game, Victor, the one pitch that's hurt Weaver so far has been his slider. A couple of them. One to Altuve for a base hit, and that base hit by Carlos Correa, who may indeed be on the run himself now with 8 stolen bases on the season.
Valbuena takes an off-speed pitch upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes today. Carlos Torres at first, Rob Drake at second, Sam Holbrook at third. Three 3-0. Four-pitch walk. So got the first 2 outs easily on a strikeout and a Gonzalez attempted bunt. Altuve a single, Correa a single, now a walk.
Designated
21 pitches so far for Weaver. It's Carlos Gomez coming up now. The DH. 225 with 3 home runs and 17 runs batted in. Gomez last night 2 for 5, double and a single. He's picked up the pace quite a bit since coming off the disabled list. He's hit 289 during that stretch. He raised his overall batting average to 225. Breaking ball, and that's out to left field. Robinson's there and almost comes in a little bit too far. Snagged for the 3rd out, but Houston strikes first. Led to the bottom of the 1st. Angels down 1-0. Nothing, bottom of the first inning. Let's check out Mike Scioscia's lineup for the Angels. Game number 79 as Johnny Giavotella will lead things off. He's playing second. Cole Calhoun at right. Trout at center. Pujols DHing. Marte batting fifth, third base. C.J. Cron back in the lineup at first. Jet Bandy behind the plate. Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop, and Shane Robinson gets a start in left field. They are taking on the Tulsa, Oklahoma native by the name of Dallas Keuchel.
Dallas Keuchel's fastball is 88 to 92. Slider, cut fastball, and changeup. Occasional curveball. My go-to is to be successful against Keuchel. His 4.9 mark so far this year. Don't help him out. He will throw that two-seam and fastball and break a ball off the plate. Bring him to the plate and look away. A lot of pitches away. He'll throw the cutter in, but look away, especially for that two-seamer, and bring it to the middle of the plate.
Johnny will look at a strike. Keuchel making his 17th start, 4.9 mark, 5.26 ERA. See Johnny's overall numbers at 270 now. 0 for 4 game last night. Second start for Keuchel against the Angels this year. His first one, he went 7 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, and no walks.
You can see what he's trying to establish early on and what he wants to try to do. He's going to go a fastball just a little bit off the outside corner to see if the hitters will chase it.
This one back up the middle. It's a base hit. Leadoff single for Giavotella. Puts the man on for Cole.
A Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful against a very good pitcher here in Dallas Keuchel. A little Black Sabbath. Don't start too late and right away. You have to think in terms of scoring some early runs for Weaver. Good start there for Giavotella. Getting a base hit. Get things rolling for Cole Calhoun, and then Trout and Pujols to follow.
Cole swinging first pitch, lines one down to left center. Marisnick positioned perfectly, and he gets a terrific jump on it. Tracks it down for the first out.
Boy, off the bat, especially from a left-handed swing, it's going to go away from the center fielder. But Marisnick, we've seen over the years, very athletic, great coverage in the outfield, but positioned perfectly to run that well-hit baseball down by Cole Calhoun.
So 1 out, 1 on, and Trout up. 6-game hitting streak for Trout. 1 for 3 last night. A .319 average, 17 home runs, and 53 runs batted in.
One thing very difficult to do is to try to steal a base against Dallas Keuchel. He's allowed 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts. He's won back-to-back Gold Gloves. Fields his position exceptionally well. Very quick to the plate and a solid pickoff move. Although no pickoffs in his career, it's very quick to the plate though.
2-1 count. You would think with Evan Gattis behind the plate, you could take advantage of it. Gattis has done a nice job this year. He's thrown out 6 of 13.
See that Gold Gloves last 2 years. Only Astro pitcher ever to win the Gold Glove.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Keuchel establishing his pattern. Cut fastball in, 2-seam fastball away, just a little bit off the plate.
Trout good numbers in his career against Keuchel, 11 for 34. 2 home runs. th career game for Keuchel against the Angels. 13th start. 8.2 and a 3.74 earned run average. Full count.
Normal for Trout to see a lot of pitches. 4.43 pitches per plate appearance. 3rd best in the majors in that category.
3-2, and that missed inside for ball 4. I think Keuchel wanted that call.
A little off the inside corner, though. It's amazing how well Trout hits the baseball, how high he has his hands up, how quick that bat is to be able to get those pitches on the inner half of the plate, how well he's adjusted to high pitches this year, and certainly breaking balls and changeups.
Two on and one out. Here's Albert. Back at the DH spot. 2 for 4 last night with 2 singles. Picked up an RBI. He'll take down and away. 6 for 28 in his career against Keuchel, but a couple of home runs. Albert's batting average at .244.
There's that changeup away. Trout's walk, it's his 49th walk, just one behind Josh Donaldson as far as the lead in that category in the American League. Donaldson with 50 walks, Trout now with 49.
Two on count. 14 pitches for Keuchel, split right down the middle. 7 balls, 7 strikes. Giavitello a leadoff single. Trout working the 1-out walk. Houston getting a run in the first. Albert chops this one towards short. Correa's got it. Goes to Altuve for 1, and he bobbles the transfer. And what was probably going to be a double play, although it would have taken a while with Albert running.
That's a significant play that they did not make, which is unusual when you watch this Astros defense. Take a look at that play right there as he made a good, pretty low throw to Altuve, but that's one of those plays where you normally would see a real good shot at a 6-4-3. A little bit off balance in a low throw, and on the quick, try to be quick on the transfer. Ball pops out of the glove, but definitely an out at second. But still an opportunity to be able to tie this game up at least now with that double play not turned.
Jeffrey Marte, the third baseman, comes up. Runners at the corners. He will take inside. Marte has never faced Dallas Keuchel. He's hitting .263, has 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. 0-for-4 game last night as the starting first baseman. 2 balls, no strikes.
Marte really has to be patient against Keuchel. He has to look at all the video and watch his patterns, because he doesn't throw a lot of strikes on that outside part of the plate, and Marte's very aggressive. You got, like I said, bring him in the middle of the plate.
3-0 count. Command was an issue for Keuchel in the early going, but last 6 starts he's gotten better with it. 42 strikeouts, 6 walks. Although the command not as pinpoint so far this afternoon as we have seen. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike. 3-1. Full count. Albert will get a head start. Payoff pitch. Tay takes low, and it's ball 4. So second walk of the inning loads him up.
Pretty patient at bat there for Marte. Had a pretty good pitch to hit 3-1, but it was an all-speed pitch. And Keuchel came with a breaking ball, a slider. 3-2.
C.J. Cron had the night off last night, hitting .261. Look at a fastball for a strike. 3 for 19 in his career against Dallas Keuchel. Giovatello standing at third, Pujols at second, Marte at first. 1-0 Houston. Bottom of the first. Cron taps it foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
Real good numbers with the bases loaded for C.J. Cron. 10 for 21, 476. Has yet to hit a grand slam though. The base hit would work perfectly right now.
Cal remains at no balls, 2 strikes. Weaver threw a lot of pitches in the top of the first. Keuchel will be throwing his 25th in the bottom of the first now. The next pitched. Cron pops it up. Gaddis dealing with the sunshine behind the plate, keeps the mask on, and makes the catch for the 3rd out. So the Angels unable to take advantage of the missed opportunity on the double play. Leave them loaded as we head to the second. Houston on top.
And now it's time for Lowe's home field advantage. Since 2002, the Angels winning percentage at home, 4th best. Yankees lead that category since that time at 621. So far this year, though, 9 games under 500 at home so far, but 13 of the last 14 seasons winning records at home for the Angels. Today's the day. Start turning around and get better at home. Get right back in the race.
Bottom third of the order here in the second for Houston. Reed, Gaddis, and Marisnick to face Jared Weaver. A.J. Reed, the rookie first baseman, 0 for 10 to start his big league career. And 0 for 5 in Monday's contest. Had the night off last night, back at first base tonight. Former 2nd round pick at the University of Kentucky. The Astros' top prospects as he lifts this one out to shallow left. Down the line, Robinson coming in. And will make the catch. 1 down. Hey, it's time to create memories with the family, Gooby. Angels baseball is a great family fun for everyone. Is great family fun. For
yes,
only
it
$44,
is.
get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 soft drinks with the Friends and Family Fun Pack. Visit angels.com/fun pack for more information.
Creating memories.
Imagine if you could just throw in 4 cookies in there, too.
That would be fantastic.
Remarkable.
Yeah, that would be borderline remarkable.
Evan Gaddis will step up.
We do like our cookies upstairs before the game, that's for sure.
They are good. That was a pretty good pitch. Not called a strike. 1-0 count on Gaddis, making his 15th start behind the plate this afternoon. 222 average, 12 home runs, 32 RBIs. North Texas native.
First pitch, a fastball that Gaddis took. Now Weaver came back with a 68-mile-an-hour curveball, and Gaddis has had a tough time on all speed pitches. 174 batting average. He might have taken the one fastball he's going to get in this at bat against Weaver.
Foul back, 1-2. There's the slider.
It looked like he really forced and muscled up on that slider, because he's made a couple mistakes with his slider in that first inning against Altuve and Correa. He wanted to make sure he got that one down and away.
Two-two, swing and a miss. The bat goes flying. Terrific Olympic distance on the bat throw, but it's the out recorded here, the second one of the second inning.
And one of those off-speed pitches, a good slow curveball from Weaver, and Marte able to jump over that thrown bat from Gaddis.
I don't know, Marte maybe grew up doing a little double dutch. That was some mad hops right there.
That was big back in Philly, the double dutch.
Double dutch.
Oh yeah.
Venezuela not so much.
Well,
perhaps.
Could be there too. Philly known for that.
A lot of dodging going there now, that's for sure. No balls and a strike on Marisnick. Second strikeout, by the way, for Jared Weaver. Marisnick getting to start today in center, hitting 178 with a home run and 6 RBIs. Fastball lifted out to left. Robinson curls around, comes in now. And Weaver with a 1-2-3 second. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Bandy, Simmons, and Robinson coming up for the Angels, down 1-0.
The Angels 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. And now it's time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. The strikeout disparity between these two teams this season. The Angels with this 466 strikeouts, the fewest in the majors. The Astros, though, with 742 strikeouts, which is the most in the majors this year. Although the Astros have walked quite a bit, 90 more walks this year than the Angels. So they've been swinging and missing, but a little bit more patient working walks. Runs scored very similar between the Astros and the Angels this year. It's really been the defense and the pitching the difference maker.
A little more power as well, though. When you look at the 98 home runs for Houston, 74 for the Angels. 6th and 14th respectively. But it's been basically since May 1st when the Astros turned this thing around. Bandy takes apparently off the plate. Keuchel was looking in on that one. They caught the corner, but instead it's 2 balls and a strike on Jet, hitting .273, 2 doubles, a home run, 9 runs batted in. He drives one out toward left center field, hit well. Marisnik got a good jump on it. He's not going to get there, and that is gone. A home run on a line shot by Jet Bandy. Second of the season, ties this game up at 1.
Jet, the Bandy Man can. On that swing, driving it out to the deep part of the ballpark here today. Good swing by Jet Bandy. Tying up the game now at 1. Got a fastball down, 88-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's our AT&T high-speed replay. Fastball down, good swing, got the barrel of bat on that one, and drives it out to center field and out of the ballpark for Jet Bandy. Real good swing for Jet. Second home run, 10th RBI.
Simmons hacking at the first pitch, fouls it back. .226 batting average, a home run, and 11 RBIs. Now 75 home runs for the Angels. Well, Jert had the height to get out off the bat. Out toward left. Gonzalez is there. 1 down.
Left fielder, number 17.
It's the 14th home run that Keuchel has allowed this year. That ties him with Doug Fister. That swing that Bandy has, you can tell, he just likes that pitch down. Robinson, the left fielder, hitting .250, has a home run and 5 runs batted in.
And Keuchel allowed 17 home runs the entire season last year in 232 innings pitched, which is still an amazing number when you pitch half your games in Minute Maid Park. That is a home run haven.
This one out toward shallow right center. Marisnik was shading Robinson that way, puts it away. 2 down.
We're talking about getting that barrel and how quick this baseball got out of the ballpark. Marisnik was trying to get back there at the time, but that was just hit too hard, too fast over his head to get back there in time to even have an opportunity to get up high on the wall.
Would have been interesting had he gotten back there.
Because it was just barely over the wall. It got over there by a pretty good distance, but it was a line drive over the wall.
Text Bandy later on today. Goopy says it was a wall scraper.
No. No. A wall breaker.
Yeah. Johnny's 1 for 1. He had a base hit to center. That was, by the way, on the Bandy home run, 105 miles per hour off the bat. 399 feet. One and 2. But last year, the season that Keuchel had was just incredible. His ability to hit whatever spot he wanted in the strike zone. Impeccable. A little different so far this year for him.
The thing is, and the Astros are a club that puts the shift on a lot, but he pitched right to the shift every pitch, it seemed to be.
Both guys, McHugh, who 19-game winner last year, both guys seemed to pitch, I mean, whatever they wanted to throw. They hit their spots.
And you're going to see the double as far as the ERA from last year to this year.
On a 3-2 count, Giavitello was hacking, and Reed, a poor feed. The ball gets away, and Johnny will end up staying at first base.
Yeah, when you're a pitcher covering the base, that is the most difficult one. When you throw that low throw and you have to reach back, not only you're trying to catch the base, but you're trying to find the base and also dealing with the runner going down the line. And Keuchel was over there in plenty of time, but he took his eye off the baseball as he tried to find the base and catch it all at the same time.
Error on Reed, his first in the big leagues.
Well, I remember Kirk Gibson always saying when he would run down the line like that, he would try to take you out as a pitcher. That's why you always had your elbows up ready for some contact with Kirk Gibson down the line. He goes, you know how many times I try to take out your Achilles? I said, that's good to know. Appreciate that. And we're teammates now?
Here's Cole. And that is ripped to right field. Springer playing in, can't get it. He dives for it, and it gets by it. Giavitello will come in to score. Calhoun will turn. He's headed toward third, and he is going to be in there with an RBI triple. 2-1 Halos.
What a solid swing for Cole Calhoun. Aggressive as always in a count. 89-mile-an-hour fastball right down the heart of the plate, and he jumped on it, hit it well. One of those plays, too, is for Springer. He's very aggressive in the outfield. Dives, unable to make that play. A lot of times, especially with Keuchel on the mound, you think in terms of I'll field that ball be in front of me, I'll keep it to a single, try to get through the inning. There's no slowing down Springer as far as his aggressiveness, trying to catch everything his way.
There was a defensive miscue on the part of the Astros in the first inning. The Angels did not take advantage of it, but here they do. The error by the first baseman Reed. The triple gives the Angels a 2-1 lead. And Trout takes ball one. Trout worked the walk in the first, one of two free passes issued by Keuchel.
Been very good on this homestand, that batting average.
2 balls and no strikes.
This could be the day that he could hit one down in that corner, especially with a cut fastball inside from Dallas Keuchel.
Two and one.
There it is, that cut fastball. A little bit off the inside corner, though. Still a very effective pitch. Very difficult if you do swing at that to keep that fair.
It's 2-2. All the trout, though, in the trout farm must be in somebody's freezer because it's empty down there.
They moved up to the shade. Those fish are smart, man. Staying in cooler waters.
2-2. Inside, full count.
That's 3 straight cut fastballs in against Trout. And again, another full count. Walked his first at bat. I don't see him giving in either. He's going back with a cut fastball or something off the plate.
No strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 hits allowed for Keuchel. Bandy with a leadoff home run to tie things up. Now Calhoun, after the error, an RBI triple to give the Angels a lead. 3-2, and he walked him.
It's now 50 walks on the season for Trout. Depending on what Donaldson is doing in Colorado for the Blue Jays, he'll be at the top. Donaldson with 50 walks.
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm surprised he doesn't have more already. Not because of lack of patience, just because of the way the Angels offense has gone. Why would you pitch to Trout? Numbers he's put up this year. Albert looks at a strike. Reach on the fielder's choice. That was the double play ball that Altuve lost on the transfer.
Trout's on base percentage .416 so far this year with 2 more walks. That's unbelievable.
Gets jammed, fouls it off.
And Donaldson without a walk so far in the game in Colorado. So now tied Trout with Donaldson for the lead in the American League as far as walks.
.416 on base percentage, second highest of his career. The highest .432. That was in 2013 as Albert takes just inside 1-2. Calhoun at third, Trout over at first. 2 outs, 2-1 Halos. We're in the second. Pujols hits one out toward left center field. Long run over for Marvin Gonzalez. Still moving back. He'll reach up and make a catch on the warning track for the third out. But the Angels strike for 2, and it all started with Jet Bandy's home run to lead off the second.
Boy, he got that little two-seam fastball downstairs, and what a swing Jet Bandy put on that laser beam home run for Jet Bandy.
The 2-1 lead. Bandy with his second home run of the year, and then Calhoun with an RBI triple. So 1 run earned, 1 run unearned, courtesy of the error by A.J. Reed, the first baseman. And here to third inning, it's top of the order for Houston. Springer, Gonzalez, and Altuve to face Jared Weaver at a 1-2-3 second. There's 2 punch outs, 1 walk, 2 hits allowed, both singles. Springer struck out to start the game. The curveball misses inside. Two-0 count. Jared's been pretty good in the early parts of games. A 3.20 ERA in his first 3 innings, but after that is where he gets into some trouble. It's at 7.31.
Yeah, it seems to be that 4th, 5th, and 6th inning he struggles a little bit. Then when he gets beyond that 6th inning, that's when he starts kicking it back in again, including a shutout in Oakland.
3-0. Springer takes. He was taking the whole time. He swung 3-0 last night and grounded out. Gonzalez on deck, then Altuve. And there's a leadoff walk.
A pretty good pitch.
Jared Davis doesn't want to be calling the bottom part of the zone so far today. Hey, don't miss the biggest stars in all of baseball together on the same field. It's a 2016 MLB All-Star Game, Tuesday, July 12th, live from San Diego and only on Fox.
Yeah, last I checked, Brian with a couple more hits, but I don't think any's left the building for Chris Bryant. What a performance he had just a couple days ago with 3 home runs, 3 doubles. Went to the University of San Diego. Pretty fun down there at Petco.
Got hit by a pitch today.
So his on-base percentage goes up.
Yeah.
Going old Don Baylor on him.
Gonzalez takes a strike, tried to bunt his way on the first time up. What they say, his hat is going to Cooperstown for the big game that he had the other day, but he's keeping the bat until it cracks.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it away either. By the way, Groove's birthday was just yesterday. Don Baylor, happy birthday. Speaking of getting hit with a lot of pitches and hitting a lot of home runs and intimidating a lot of pitchers. That's a pretty big lead for Springer.
One ball, one strike.
Remember, Weaver has picked off Springer before. Weaver with one pickoff this year, 25 of them in his career.
Gonzalez has played short, third, first, second, and left for the Astros. At least 15 games at all of those positions.
He's played defensively well and all. That was a very good play to finish off the inning. That was a well-hit baseball he tracked down. Albert hit that ball well.
Leadoff walk to Springer. He's over at first. Breaking pitch, and that's cued and gloved by Simmons. Gets rid of it quickly, and Crow can't come up with it. Springer is going to try to go to second, and he will get there. And Simmons will get charged with an error.
Nice play by Simmons, trying to be quick on the throw. Almost all in one motion. A little bit of a low throw into the runner going back and off the arm of Springer. And quickly, that's good base running by Springer. Gets up and advances to second.
Simmons gets charged with his fifth error. Man in scoring position for Jose Altuve, who singled and scored in the first.
And got to be careful when you go upstairs with a pitch. To Altuve, we talked about those numbers, and he did get a base hit on a high slider. 352 this season, and he's added some pretty good power in there too. 37 extra base hits so far.
Got him to expand a little bit. 2-1 count. Carlos Correa is on deck. Out to right field. Cole racing over. Tracking it, and he can't come up with it. Maybe lost it in the sun. Springer will come in to score. Altuve is going to try to go to third. Giovatello's relay throw is up the line. So it'll be a triple for Altuve, and the score's tied at 2.
Again, another pitch that was upstairs, a high fastball, and Calhoun going a long way. Looks like he's tracking that down and might have lost it at the last minute as he reached up to try to get the baseball. And right there you can tell he has a tough time even seeing where that ball is at that point, because he got there in time even though he had to go a long way to get to that baseball. And how quick Altuve is to end up with a triple.
Second triple of the year. Picks up An RBI, his 46th. And with one out and a man at third, Weaver from the full windup facing Correa, and the curveball misses low. Correa with an RBI single in the first inning. Now has 17 runs batted in 9 games against the Angels this year. Caught the lower part of the zone. You can tell by Weaver's reaction. But Jerry Davis has not called that pitch on either side for a strike.
Yeah, Keuchel's been upset with a couple pitches he thought were strikes in lower part of the strikes, and Weaver's thrown about 3 or 4 of them that could be strikes.
Two balls, one strike.
Well, you mentioned how many RBIs Correa has this season. Already in his career, 29 RBI against the Angels. He's barely got a full season together now from last year into this year. The major league level for Carlos Correa, a special young player.
Three balls, one strike. Correa, the first overall pick in 2012. Valbuena's on deck. And a walk. Second one of the inning, third of the game. Houston with a couple of men on here in the first, in the third with one out. Next pitch will be the 50th thrown by Jared. Valbuena worked to walk in the first. Valbuena 8 for 28 in his career against Weaver, 286 average. As a man at third and Altuve, the man at first, Correa. Oh, what? Slow breaking ball in there, 0-2. Valbuena last year in his first season with Houston. Yeah, you can get him to chase and open up the strike zone a little bit. He's been a lot more patient this year. Swung at just 22% of the pitches outside the zone. That's the 5th lowest in the American League.
An amazing thing about Weaver, though, this year he's gotten 11 ground ball double plays, yet he's always in that top list as far as fewest ground ball outs. Picks the right time to get those.
Correa back to first. With that said, though, on Valbuena, he went 0 for 5 last night with 4 strikeouts, 2 of which were looking.
Yeah, he's averaging 4.45 pitches per plate appearance, second most in the majors.
Remember last year we first saw him, he was just hacking everywhere, especially with that short porch left at Minute Maid. 0-2. This one's out towards center, not very deep. Trout comes racing, and Altuve back to the bag to tag. He's coming home. The throw to the plate is cut off, and Houston has retaken the lead. It's 3-2.
Off balance throw from Trout had to come in on that baseball, especially with Altuve right away. It stayed right at the base. Nobody's going to have a shot to try to tag up and score. Valbuena with an RBI sac fly. 2 runs scored already in the game for Altuve.
2 outs with Correa at first base, and Carlos Gomez coming up. Gomez a DH and a fly ball to left field to end the first. He's 0 for 1.
Weaver now with 53 pitches thrown. 32 of them strikes. One thing about Gomez, he never gets cheated. Almost falls down on that swing. But highest percentage of pitches in the strike zone amongst starters in the majors. Weaver, 53.8% of his pitches in the strike zone. Bartolo Colon leading that category with a little over 56%. Kershaw right there below at 53.6%. And that's the upper part of the strike zone there too. So he hasn't got the high strike, he hasn't got the low strike going.
Last pitch at 86 miles per hour. Two balls and two strikes. The patented Carlos Gomez swing. Needs a chin strap for the helmet though. 24 pitches so far this inning for Weaver. Trying to get to third out. 3-2 Houston. We're in the third. That is out to left field. Then it'll chase Robinson back. Curls around near the wall. Leaps up and he got it. Nice play by Shane Robinson to rob Gomez of extra bases and keep it a one-run deficit as we head to the bottom of the third.
And Robinson got back on that baseball very well. Time to leap. An outstanding defensive play by Shane Robinson.
Prepare to hit the road with stops at Boston, Tampa Bay, and Baltimore. Remember, you can watch Angels games live wherever you go with Fox Sports Go app. Download it today and watch the Angels on the go. Those are some good-looking cookies. I got you a doggy biscuit. Go to town, big boy. Yeah, that looks good. Fox Sports Go, there it is. You are such a company guy. You want something to drink? You good? 3-2. Houston leads it here in the bottom of the third. How you feeling?
Fantastic.
Oh my word. Marte chopping this one toward third. Valbuena barehands it, fires across the diamond. Nice play by the Astro third baseman to get Marte for out number one.
I think I channel my buddy the elf right there, get some more sugar. And another solid defensive play by the Astros. Valbuena with the bare hand across the diamond. A perfect throw. Set in the hand and then able to grip the baseball to throw a four-seam over to first base to get Marte at first.
Boy, if the Cookie Monster ever needed a day off, you'd be the guy.
Oh, thank you.
Crone will look at his strike. CJ popped out to the catcher Gaddis to end the first. This one lined to right field, a base hit. Springer over to cut it off. The Angels with a one-out knock.
And with Jeff Bandy coming to play, his last at bat in the second inning, worthy of a Carl's Camp replay. Jeff Bandy, fastball downstairs, drives that one out to center field. A line drive out, 105 miles per hour off the bat. Exit speed for Jeff Bandy with a home run.
Second of the year, third of his career. No balls, two strikes.
Going back to my Hyundai key for this game. Don't start too late, especially after the Astros scoring 2. Top of the third. Got to get right back and start swinging that bat and score some runs. Going to be difficult now behind the count 0-2 for Bandy, but he did hit a home run his first at bat against Keuchel.
Ball and two strikes with Crone at first and one out. We're in the third. Houston with the run in the first. The Angels took a lead in the second, 2-1. You see the Astros scored twice here in the third. Bandy goes down swinging for out number 2. First strikeout of the afternoon for Keuchel. That'll bring up Andrelton Simmons.
Number 2, Andrelton Simmons.
Simmons a fly ball to left in his second inning at bat. One strikeout, 3 walks, 4 hits allowed for Keuchel so far. Up and away. Ground ball toward third. Valbuena again bare hands and again off balance throw, and Reed digs it out of the dirt. And the Angels are done here in the third. We'll head to the fourth. 3-2 Houston. 3-2, top of the fourth inning. Luis Valbuena with a couple of fine defensive plays. 2 in this last inning.
Well, they come in both times with the bare hand. That was a little more difficult one. He kept it on the finger and the thumb to be able to finally gather it in a strong throw. Low throw, but scooped by Reed at first base. 2 outstanding plays by Valbuena.
Reed, Gaddis, and Marisnick to face Jared Weaver. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks for Jared. 3 hits allowed. Slow breaking ball drops in there. 0-2. Reed hit a fly ball to left field in the second, so he's 0 for 1. 0 for 11 to start his big league career. Reed goes down swinging for the first out. Good off-speed pitch. And the Angels Summer Pass is on sale now. The Summer Pass good for all 17 Sunday through Thursday games in July and August, including games against the Yankees and the Red Sox. With the Upper Deck Pass for only $49, you can save all summer. Get yours today at angels.com/summerpass.
Boy, Reed has had a tough time staying back on the all-speed pitches from Weaver so far, even throughout this series. He can hit the fastball so well. Very difficult staying back.
Giannis hoops one out to left center field, and it's a 1-out single. He's on board for Jake Marisnick.
Center fielder, number 6, Jake Marisnick.
Marisnick hit a fly ball to left in the second.
Good slider there from Weaver. Tight, sharp break to it.
Down a left field line. Robinson, good speed, racing into foul territory. He'll get there, make the catch. Gaddis back to first base. That's out number 2.
Right fielder.
That's 4 flyouts out to Robinson. He's had to cover some ground today. Made some good defensive plays.
Springer takes apparently off the plate. Boy, tight zone today for Jerry Davis on both sides. Nothing borderline going for either pitcher.
Fox tracks. That's right on the outside part of the plate.
And Keuchel the same way.
Yeah.
He has stared in a couple of times.
That's a strike there in the upper part of the strike zone.
Yeah. Two balls, 1 strike. Springer with a strikeout in the first, a walk, and a run scored in the third. Two-one pitch. That is out toward left. Got it off the end of the bat. Robinson drifting over, and he'll put it away for the third out. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. 9-1-2 coming up. The Angels down 3-2. fourth. Houston on top by the score of 3-2. Jared Weaver, after Shane Robinson caught that last out to end the fourth, came down and had a little conversation, nothing animated, but just having a conversation with the crew chief, Jerry Davis, who's the home plate umpire, just asking him about the strike zone. And that's the way you do it as a veteran pitcher. You just come down and you don't show them up. And obviously, there have been some questionable calls on both sides. Not only have we seen it, but clearly both starting pitchers.
Yeah, a lot of times what you'll ask the home plate umpire, I'm not getting the low strike, but I got to at least have the high strike.
Right.
If you're not getting both, that makes it more difficult to be able to get some outs, some quick outs.
And when you're on the edge,
yeah,
teetering on the edge like Weaver has been, he needs his bread and butter is command.
Yeah.
And if he's hitting those spots but yet not getting the call, then all you're doing is asking for trouble. So at least you get a better clarification there from the umpire himself. Shane Robinson, who's been busy this afternoon, will lead things off here against Keuchel. Johnny Giavatello and then Cole Calhoun. Robinson pulling a Gomez, loses his helmet. It's an 0-1 count. Robinson hits one out to left. Marwin back a couple of steps. And will make the catch for the first out. We'll spin the lineup back to the top. Johnny Giavatello coming up now. Johnny with a single in the first, reached on the error by Reed in the second, so he's 1 for 2. Also scored a run. Yunel Escobar out of the lineup once again, scheduled to be back, hoping to be back by Friday. Or the bone bruise, I should say, in his knee.
And another lower part of the strike zone pitch that Keuchel did not get also.
.70 pitches for Keuchel. 40 strikes. 1 punch out, 3 walks. Johnny grounds this one to the left side, and Valbuena, more traditional fielding position with the glove, throws out Johnny. 2 down. The most batters retired consecutively in this game has been 4. That was Weaver, who got the last out in the first and retired the side in order in the second. For Keuchel, he's retired 3 in a row now. Last out of the third and the first 2 here in the fourth. So neither guy's really gone on a stretch here of shutdown baseball. Cole 1 for 2. He tripled to right field. Diving effort by Springer came up short. Picked up an RBI. His 41st of the season. Astros on top 3-2. We're in the bottom of the fourth. No balls, 2 strikes. There's the 1-2.
Cole goes down swinging. Keuchel with a 1-2-3 fourth. We'll head to the fifth. Houston up a run.
This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Subaru, making the world a better place. That's why they created Subaru Loves to Care, Subaru's commitment to a healthier community. And by El Pollo Loco. Try the new fire-grilled chicken burritos today. Top of the fifth inning. Let's take a look at the Astros in-game box score. Total of 4 hits. Actually, both teams with 4 hits. Jose Altuve is 2 for 2. Carlos Correa 1 for 1. As Jared Weaver's back to work, he has 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. He'll face Gonzalez, Altuve, and Correa. Marwin Gonzalez tried to bunt his way on his first time up. He lined out softly in the third. And this one, a little liner into center field, jammed him. Gonzalez fights it off for a leadoff single.
And another hitter in this Astro lineup is pretty effective on pitches in the upper part of the strike zone as compared to the lower part. Gonzalez, a 133 hitter on low pitches, which is the worst in the majors, but very effective on elevated pitches. Gets a base hit on that one.
Altuve 2 for 2 with a single, a triple, an RBI, stole a base, 2 runs scored. He's raised his batting average now up to .354 with those 2 hits, and he drives this one out to the alley in left center field. And that's going to be 3 hits. It'll go to the wall. Gonzalez will be stopped at third, and it's a double. As Altuve is now a home run shy of the cycle.
Again, another pitch upstairs. This is a slider that stays up in the strike zone. Another amazing job by bringing his hands up and gets the barrel of the bat. He gets his foot down, brings his arms up, the barrel through the baseball on a high pitch.
Here's Correa. RBI single and a walk. Stretching going on in the Angels bullpen now. Correa chops this one towards short. Simmons comes in and he bobbles it. Gonzalez will score. Now Altuve is going to keep on running. Looks like Andrelton Simmons saying that Altuve made contact with the baseball.
And he's saying it hit his leg.
He's calling for Socha to come out.
See if this ball did indeed hit him.
Looked like a redirect there.
It definitely changed direction.
Yeah.
right up the right knee area. The umpires are going to get together here. That's a dead ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone back to their spots.
And
an out.
And an out. Exactly. That would be a huge out.
At the very least, nobody's seeing it. Why not go ahead and ask for a crew chief review? Tough there. The other angle that we saw looked like a little redirection, but nothing's going to be done about it right here.
Well, there's definitely, this baseball is redirected for sure right there.
Third baseman, number 8.
And Simmons immediately saying that it hit Altuve. It'll go as an error. 2 runs come across. It's 5-2 now. Still nobody out. Correa picks up an RBI. Valbuena skies one to center. Trout in now dealing with that sunshine. Puts it away for out number 1.
Designated hitter, number 30, Carlos Gomez.
So 1 out. Correa at first. And it's Carlos Gomez now up. Gomez, a couple of fly balls to Robinson in left field. Angels with action in their bullpen. Mike Moore, first guy up. Carlos takes inside. Off speed, down and away.
74 pitches thrown now for Weaver. 48 strikes.
Two and one.
Another strike, upper part of the strike zone.
Three one count. Correa takes off, and it's ball 4. 2 on, 1 out. Got A.J. Reed coming up, the first baseman.
Number 23, A.J. Reed.
It's the 4th walk of the game for Weaver. Something you don't see often from Weave. That's a season high as far as walks in a game. A lot of those pitches could have been called strikes.
Reed, the first baseman, a fly ball to left and a strikeout. Last 4-walk game that Weaver had was August 30th of last year against Cleveland. Correa, the base runner at second, and Gomez at first. Good speed on the bases for Houston. It's 5-2 Stros. We're in the 5th with 1 out. Good breaking ball.
And a 68-mile-an-hour curveball from Weaver.
Six hits for Houston, 4 for the Angels. Started off with a flare single by Gonzalez to center. There's the 1-2. He's had Reed fooled quite a bit today on the slow stuff, especially that slow curveball.
Still think you stay there, though. You don't try to sneak a fastball by him. He's very, very quick. That's the pitch he can drive. He's strong. He's a tough time staying back on all speed.
Check swing towards short. Simmons goes to second for 1, and Giavotella doesn't bother to look toward first. Reed, the first baseman, doesn't run all that well. Thought for sure they'd take a shot at it, try to get out of the inning. Instead, it's 2 outs and runners at the corners. Looked like Andrelton was pointing toward first as well.
They always take that shot, especially when you're trying to get through an inning. For a team that's been scoring the way they have been, and you're facing a very good pitcher, Dallas Keuchel, you got to try to get that out.
There's Gaddis, 7th man to bat this inning. 1 for 2. Skies went out to shallow center. Simmons going out. Trout comes racing in. Trout with a call on the catch, and that'll do it for the Astros here in the 5th. They scored twice, and they lead at 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Box score for the Angels, just a total of 4 hits in this one. Chip Manley with a home run in the second, and Cole Calhoun with an RBI triple in the second as well. But Dallas Keuchel, even though he has been kind of around the zone, has limited whatever damage the Angels have tried to put together against him. And here in the 5th inning, it'll be Trout, Pujols, and Marte against the left-hander, who has thrown a total of 75 pitches, 44 for strikes. He has punched out 2, and he has walked 3. Trout a couple of walks. Both times up, he's taken it to a 3-2 count. He's not wasting any time here. Jumps on the first one, and it's a leadoff single.
Bad idea for Trout to be able to do that. Got that foot down. Was back inside with another fastball. He's been inside either with a fastball or a cut fastball throughout this game. Brings his hands inside so well in that one. Get the barrel of the bat and through for a base hit.
Albert 0 for 2, a fielder's choice in the first inning, and a fly ball to left in the second. Trout takes off. Albert shoots one down the right field line, slicing out of play. Can't imagine that was a hit run, can you? Trout had a pretty good jump.
And against Huckley, you just got to guess right against him. He's quick to the plate, but if he's not paying attention to you, just go on first movement.
Albert yanks this one down the line. Fair ball. Headed toward the corner. Trout will turn and head to third, and misplayed by Gonzalez. That will allow Trout to come in to score, and Albert to second. It is a 5-3 Astros lead.
Good to see the offense responding right back. He actually scored 2. Top of the 5th, Albert brings his hands inside on that cut fastball himself. And he hooks that right down the line for a double, his 8th double. The baseball getting by Gonzalez. He tried to cut it off. Allows Mike Trout to score all the way from first base rather easily.
Had no error charge on that play by Gonzalez. A straight double and an RBI for Albert. His 50th run batted in. Nobody out. Man at second. Here's Jeffrey Marte. Takes a strike. Marte walked to the first and grounded out in the third. One ball, 2 strikes. Double for Albert, his 8th of the year. 1-2. Marte lays off. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, at the very least, you want a productive out on that right side of the infield for Marte.
Takes a called strike 3. And Jerry Davis rings up Marte, throws the arms up. Borderline pitch. It's out number 1.
Yeah, it looked like a strike, a cut fastball or slider inside, I should say. Gets the inside part of the plate.
So 1 out, Albert at second. Here's C.J. Cron. C.J. with the base hit to right field. His last time up, he's 1 for 2. 1-0 count. Cron 2 for 6 in this series. Back at first base this afternoon. Night off last night. 2 balls, no strikes. So one, like the top hand came off the bat there.
And that's one thing about Keuchel. He'll throw that slider in, down and in, a cut fastball, inner half against right-handed batters. As you try to either get that cut fastball out in front or bring your hands inside to make better contact.
Two balls, 2 strikes. You get a swing like that. Now do you go back inside with a fastball? Hard stuff?
Because as a hitter, you're probably looking down and away. Cut fastball in would be very difficult to square up.
He goes away with a fastball, and Crone swings through it, 2 down.
Let's go back to the pitch that Jet Bandy hit out against Dallas Keuchel back in the second inning and see how he's able to do so. This 2-seam fastball downstairs. See exactly where he got on the barrel of the bat, Bandy, to hit that one out of the ballpark on the follow-through. A line drive over the center field wall for Bandy. Perfect follow-through on a low pitch for Jet Bandy.
1 for 2 with that home run. Struck out in the 3rd. Fouls the first one off. No balls, 2 strikes. Nobody's warmed up this half inning. So you wonder if Weaver's going back out. 9-1-2 coming up for Houston. Although Morin was ready to go just in case in the 5th.
Looked like Mike Scioscia went over the Weaver after that half inning, either to ask him how you feel or that's it. And they had a quick conversation as Weaver came off the mound.
Oh, 2. Popped up. Reed, the first baseman, calling for it. Makes a catch. The Angels get a run as we will head to the 6th inning. Astros on top 5-3.
T-Mobile's greater coverage of baseball. As Baltimore continues to play well, 6-0 lead in San Diego. Home run by Mark Trumbo, their 55th home run in the month of June. A couple games later on, Cleveland versus Atlanta, try to keep that win streak going. KC, St. Louis later on tonight. And now a game break in Detroit. Miguel Cabrera. Wow, you talk about squaring up a baseball and going a long, long way. 459 feet as far as distance for Miggy. Detroit. Wow, it's a long way out there. He ended up winning that game 10-3 against Miami.
Ichiro got a hit, a couple hits.
So I know he got at least one.
Yeah. 9-1-2 with Weaver back out of the mound here in the 6th inning. Jake Marisnick, center fielder today, will look at the strike. He's 0 for 2. With fly ball to left. Weaver with 3 strikeouts, 4 walks.
Make that 2 hits for Ichiro today.
The world leader in hits.
Yes.
Oh, what? 0-2. Five runs, 6 hits, an error, 6 left on for Houston. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. 7 left on for the Angels. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morin's up and loosening once again. 86 pitches for Weaver. 2 innings in which he got extended. The first, 23 pitches. The third with 25. Marisnick pops it up. Cron comes in. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP.
This is the first pop-up in the infield. That's something we've always talked about when Weaver's thrown very, very well. A lot of pop-ups in the infield, some swing and misses on slow pitches. That was just the first one of the game for Weave.
Springer takes low. Leadoff man and right fielder 0 for 2. Did walk and score in the third. Two balls, no strikes. One of these situations where a man gets on and then hooks him.
Yeah, I think so.
Springer out toward left field. Robinson racing back. He'll pull up, and that is gone into the bullpen. A solo shot for George Springer, and it's back to a 3-run lead. 6-3 Astros.
Second career home run for Springer against Weaver. 2 runs scored.
Scioscia comes out, brings the hook with him. And Weaver's afternoon comes to an end after 5 1/3.
It's a break ball that stays on that inner half of the plate, and Springer, anything on that inner part of the plate, he hits very hard. Baseball got out quickly. That's all the power he generated on a curveball there from Springer. His 17th of the year.
Pitching change here in the 6th inning. Astros on top 6-3. Pitches 5 1/3, 7 hits, including a home run to Springer that chased him here in the 6th inning. 6 runs all earned, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts as he gives way to Mike Morin in our in and out who's in, who's out. Morin on the season 1-1 with a 5.03 ERA. This will be his 35th game. He pitched Monday against the Astros, went 2/3 of it, and he gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. He's going to face Marwin Gonzalez. (6-3) Houston. Marwin Gonzalez 1 for 3, had a single in the 5th. Shift on against Gonzalez. First one's in there for a strike. Marte in on the grass at 3rd. 0-1. 0-2.
Good fastball for Moore, 92. Remember the pitches that Gonzalez has troubles with, his pitches down in the lower part of the strike zone.
Bounces this one over to Marte. 2 down.
Boy, it's amazing what Altuve can do back in the 5th inning on a high slider, how he's able to bring his hands up and able to get the barrel of the bat on that baseball so consistently. Talked about his batting average on high pitches, 390 coming into the game. All those at bats today, pitches up, brings his hands up, and barrel the bat on it.
The amazing thing about that approach there is he needs a home run for a cycle. Single, triple, double in that order today. And 3 runs scored. First one's upstairs. Is that he doesn't step into the bucket on that pitch in. He takes a normal stride, realizes, recognizes pitch that's up and in, and then clears the hip, gets the hands through the ball.
And he gets his hand, brings his hand in so well.
1 ball, 1 strike. Average now with a 3 for 3 game at 356. Came in leading the American League in hitting, and he's only got better today. This one's out toward left center field. Robinson moving over, and he will make the catch as Morin comes in and finishes off the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 8-1 coming up. The Angels down 6-3. Up right after the All-Star break when the Angels take on the White Sox on Friday, July 15th. Fans in attendance will receive a groovy rally monkey courtesy of Jack in the Box while supplies last. Visit angels.com/promotions to purchase your tickets today.
He is certainly groovy.
Yeah. Mark Gubas not included in the giveaway.
Yeah. It is a groovy rally month.
Dallas Keuchel back down on the mound.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, bottom of the 6th, Simmons, Robinson, Giavatello. 94 pitches for Keuchel. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. Andrelton 0 for 2. A fly ball to left in the 2nd inning. A ground out in the 3rd.
Have to break out a little stairway to heaven that weekend.
Chopper, and it's over the head of Keuchel. Correa, quick transfer. Gets Simmons for out number 1.
And so often we talk about Correa's offensive abilities, and they are outstanding, but his defense is very good also, coming in on that slow roll, how quickly the transfer of the glove to the throwing arm and a firm throw to first base. A lot of similarities when you watch Simmons and Correa field the baseball and how they throw the ball across the diamond also. I mean, the baseball's in the glove and it's already gone before you can blink your eye.
Johnny shooting one out to right field. Springer moves back and will make the catch. I said Johnny, but Shane actually. It's Giavatello coming up now. 2 outs.
Second baseman, number 12, Johnny.
Boy, Shane has hit the ball pretty hard today, but nothing to show for it. Frustrating for him, hitting the ball that well. Springer got that one to the heel of the glove as he's running back, trying to track that one down. Almost ran back too quickly on it.
Those are the ones at times where you just throw the glove up and it's, I think it's right around here.
Yeah,
hopefully hits the leather. Giavatello 1 for 3 with a single. That was back in the 1st.
He's really turned himself into a very good right fielder, Springer. When he first came up, he had some errors early on. The play he made on Trout last night, he came from nowhere. He wasn't even in the screen, and all of a sudden diving on that little flare by Mike Trout last night. Springer's got great coverage out in right field.
Hundred pitches right on the nose. 2-1. Johnny shoots one down the line, but foul. Oh, nice play on the carom. 2-2. Taylor's got back-to-back hits, open up the 5th inning. A single by Trout, the double by Pujols, but then Keuchel struck out Marte and Crone. Got Bandy to pop out. And the threat was squashed. Houston got that run back at the top of the 6th. Chopper toward the middle. Correa to his left has it. Fires it to first. The Angels down in order. 6 in a row retired by Keuchel. We'll head to the 7th. Astros on top. Baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by the Chevy Drive event at your Southern California Chevy dealers. By Energy Upgrade California. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Top of the 7th inning. Halos down by the score of 6-3, and Fernando Salas is on in relief here of Mike Moore, who finished off the 6th inning. He goes 2/3 of a frame and all zeros. Salas takes over here to face Correa, Valbuena, and Gomez. Fernando not pitching in his 36th ball game. Pitched Monday, went an inning and a third. Gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. Had 3 walks in that one through 34 pitches.
It seemed like he ran out of gas at the end. It's the 36th game for Salas.
Correa looks at a strike. 1 for 2. 2 RBIs. That's not Salas all alone as far as the total games pitched. Alvarez leads the way with 38. Bedrosian 31. Moore now 35 as this one's grounded to short. 1 down. Angel fans, the 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot is still here until tomorrow at 9 Pacific. Head to Angels.com to choose your All-Star Game worthy stars and send them to the MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. July 12th in San Diego. Vote today. Vote tomorrow because that's all you can do. But do it at Angels.com.
Yes.
2 weeks from yesterday.
2 weeks from yesterday. Petco Park.
Yep. Travel will make the long flight from Baltimore after that series. Go right to San Diego for all of the festivities. Congratulations, by the way, to Angel farmhand Nate Smith. Made name to the Futures team.
That's fun to be able to see that Futures game. Some serious talent, including Mike Trout, as I recall, played in that game before. Doing unbelievable things in the Major League All-Star game, including back-to-back MVPs. Leading off with a home run against Zach Greinke last year.
Valbuena hits one high and deep to right. Cole will pull up, and this one is gone. A home run for Luis Valbuena makes it 7-3.
Well, this fastball pretty much ends up being the heart of the plate. Valbuena, his 9th home run. 2nd RBI of the game. Had a sac fly back in the 3rd. And this fastball upstairs, and he's got that barrel of the bat. Boy, you're talking about getting that leverage and clearing the hips, foot down, and the lift on that baseball to go a long way for Valbuena.
Seventh home run Salas allowed this year. Carlos Gomez takes ball 1.
At 25 last year.
1 ball, 1 strike. Trout played in the Futures game here, right? All-Star game was here July of 2010.
Yep.
Conger too, if I remember correctly. That year was a blur.
Yeah. Back in the 3rd inning with Gomez at the plate. Shane Robinson did a nice job of getting back and leaping up and making an outstanding play on the baseball, hit very well by Gomez. A number of very solid plays by Shane Robinson today.
Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gomez walked his last time up. Gomez goes down swinging on the breaking ball. 2 outs.
First baseman, number 23, A.J.
I saw a speed pitch. Good little slider from Fernando Salas to get a swing and miss. Going down and away. Tight slider.
A.J. Reed 0 for 3. No balls, 2 strikes. Halos in the bottom of the 7th have Calhoun trying to Pujols coming up. Dallas Keuchel might be done. Action in the Astros bullpen. Like Giles will come in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's already pitched once in the series. Two. This one's lined towards short. Simmons has it. And the 7th is in the books, although Valbuena homers to extend the Astros lead to 7-3. Coming schedule, the Angels will depart after the game today and head to Boston, spend the off day there tomorrow. And then it's 3 against the Red Sox, 4 against the Rays, 3 at Baltimore. And that'll wrap up the ceremonial first half. Then it's the All-Star break, and when the All-Star break is done, it's a 6-game homestand, White Sox and the Rangers. And after that series against Texas, the Angels will go to Houston to play the Astros yet again. Ken Giles takes over on the mound as we begin the bottom of the 7th. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols. Giles pitching in his 37th game. 0-3 record, a 5.06 ERA. Takes over for Keuchel, who went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned on 6 hits, one of which was the home run to Jet Bandy. 4 strikeouts and 3 walks.
Giles with that power fastball, 93 to 98 range, and hard slider.
Cole 1 for 3 with an RBI triple. No balls, 2 strikes. Oh, 2. Down it in. Giles pitched Monday, went 1 inning. All zeros for him. Two balls, 2 strikes.
So amazing to put a shift on against Cole Calhoun, especially when you're facing a fastball like this from Giles, and he's going away with the fastball.
Pulled right to first. Reed's got it. 1 down.
Center fielder, number 27.
Trout with a single and 2 walks. He's also scored a run. 7-game hitting streak now. Two runs in the second for the Angels, 1 in the 5th. One ball, 1 strike.
Pretty good slider there after you try to gear up to a fastball. 88-mile-an-hour slider.
Out toward right, hit well. Springer racing back, and he'll make the catch. No, it goes off his glove. Trout will end up at second. I didn't think he had a chance to catch up to it. Does so, but can't corral it.
Yeah, he reached up at the last second. Good covers like we mentioned before with Springer out in right field. And going inside out on a fastball down. Look how short that swing is from Trout, how compact it is, and how strong he is at the ball that far on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball down and in. And again, on the heel of the glove again.
Double for Trout, his 18th of the year. So multi-hit game. Man in scoring position for Albert, who doubled home a run in the 5th inning. He'll take low. 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. Marte is on deck. 3-1. Albert works the walk. So 2 on, 1 out, and Marte up. Tampa Drozier warming for the Angels. He'll pitch the 8th.
Should be a pretty good matchup for Marte. He likes to hit the fastball. Giles has a good fastball. See if he can get one first pitch. See if he can drive it.
A walk, a ground out, and a strikeout for Jeffrey. Lays off the breaking ball. David's up the count at a ball and a strike. 16 pitches now thrown by Giles. 8 balls, 8 strikes. First time the Angels have had multiple base runners at the same time since the second inning. That's lined to right field. Springer coming in, and he'll make the catch. Likes to play shallow.
Pretty good swing too from Marte, thinking he's got a base hit in the right, but he charges it, runs it down. Second out of the inning. Off the bat, you think he has a shot at getting down in that outfield grass, but how quickly he comes in. He's able to make the play.
Two outs and it's C.J. Cron. Cron 1 for 3, a pop-up, a single, and a strikeout. No balls, 2 strikes. Trout standing at second. Pujols at first base. 7-3 Houston, bottom of the 7th. This one pulled foul.
And away with the hanging breaking ball. Williams pulled that one foul.
A couple of games currently being played. Arizona hosting Philadelphia, up 7-4 in the 7th. Toronto leading Colorado 4-1. Baltimore over San Diego 7-3, and Trumbo hit another home run.
That's the 55th home run Baltimore has hit in the month of June. Tying that record by Oakland back in 1996, where they hit 55 home runs in the month of June.
Still have the rest of the game today and tomorrow. Are they off tomorrow?
No, they're playing tomorrow.
No, they do play tomorrow, don't they?
Up at Seattle.
That's where Trumbo was traded from for Steve Clevenger this past offseason. 0-2 hit him. So a gift for the Angels. It loads them up.
It's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. No way Cron can get out of the way of that one. Well inside. All he can do is turn. See that fastball running inside. Just turned it back in the tricep area.
It's like you're trying to set him up. That's that setup pitch you're talking about.
I've always believed finish the hitter off. You're already set him up by being up 0-2 in the count.
It will force the Astros to start loosening Gregerson as Bandy takes a strike. Jet a home run back in the second, struck out in the third, popped out in the fifth. Trout now third, Pujols at second, and Cron at first. No balls, 2 strikes. Another 0-2. That's down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A 2-out rally here, helped out by that 0-2 hit by pitch. Load him up. Down by 4. Home run that Bandy hit the second, his second of the year. Bandy goes down swinging, and the Angels are done here in the 7th. Astros still on top.
Into the game, top of the 8th inning, but Angels down 7-3 to Houston this afternoon here at the Big A. Welcome back outside, everybody. Ken French with you, and following this one is Angels Live, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Myself, Jose Mota, Tim Salmon, Alex Curry, bringing you all the highlights and interviews. But right now, it's time for our Arco top-tier play of the game. Go to the top of the 6th. Astros up 5-3. Not for long. How about 6-3? George Springer solo shot, number 17 on the year. And since Springer moved that leadoff spot on May 24th, Houston is 24-9. And as we send it back inside, I would call it a great managerial move by A.J. Hinch, guys.
Well, Springer's showing some pretty good patience at the plate, too, leading the team with walks, but also he has that power with 17 home runs now on the season with that swing there.
Astros have 8-9-1 here in the 8th inning. Gaddis, Marisnick, and Springer. Bedrosian on the bump. Sunday against Oakland, went 1 inning. Bedrosian 1-0 and a 1.33 ERA. This will be his 32nd game. Gaddis 1 for 3. He had a single in the 4th. One and two. Bedrosian's been a little bit more aggressive his last couple of outings.
He's had real good life on his fastball. He's always had that, locating him better, but his breaking ball, he's been able to get some swing and misses with his wipeout slider.
Ground ball to third. Marte's got it. One down.
Center fielder, number 6, Jake Marisnick.
Jake Marisnick, starting center fielder today, 0 for 3. A couple of fly balls to left. A pop-up his last time up. Astros have Luke Gregerson warming for the 8th. Angels will have 8-9-1 coming up themselves. Two balls, no strikes. Two and one. 36,683 this afternoon. A lot of kids in attendance up in the upper deck. No camps in town. There you go. Two balls, two strikes.
A lot of fans trying to stay in the shade, whether it's at the upper deck or the lower level where that foul ball went into. Hot one here today.
86 at first pitch, 12:35. Springer's on deck. 8 hits for Houston, 7 for the Angels. Halos have stranded 10 base runners. Astros have left 6 on.
That lower part of the strike zone again, not called by Jerry Davis.
(3-2). This one's hit to short. 2 down. Bases clear for Springer. 1 for 3 game. He homered against Weaver in the 6th inning. Last batter that Jared faced. We were going 5 1/3 tonight. Today, I should say. 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks. Morton 2/3 of an inning. Salas 1. He gave up a home run to Valbuena in the 7th. Now Bedrosian here in the 8th. Home run for Springer, his 17th of the year, picking up his 48th RBI. What? Ground ball left side. Marte cuts in front of Simmons. He'll spin move and a 1-2-3 inning for Cam Bedrosian. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Halos down by the score 7-3.
Rocket arms for the start on Friday at Fenway Park in Boston. Felice Sacheen on the mound, 2-4, going against Stephen Wright, who's had a very good season for the Red Sox, 8-5 with a 2.18 ERA. And that's not the comedian, the knuckleball pitcher.
Comedian's pretty funny.
Yes.
Luke Gregerson takes over on the mound.
That dry sense of humor.
Oh, yeah. Gregerson pitching in his 34th game, 3-1 record, 3.62 ERA, and has 13 saves on the year. Simmons, Robinson, and Giavotella for the Angels here in the 8th. Simmons drives one out to left field, and Gonzalez overplays this one. Not familiar with playing the outfield. That ball had some carry to it, squared up by Andrelton. It's a leadoff double.
He made a nice play earlier in the game, but he was able to go at an angle. This one basically is almost right over his head and did not read that one as well. And Simmons picks up his 8th double of the season. Over the head, Gonzalez squared up very well by Simmons.
Shane Robinson 0 for 3 with 3 fly ball outs. 1 to each outfielder. Robinson chops one to short. Simmons will have to hold. Low throw, and Reed digs it out. What a play by the first baseman. 1 down.
And the low throw from Correa. That's a tough in-between hop, too. Good scoop by Reed. He's done that very well. So in this series, in 2 games, he started at first base. Good hands.
One down and a man in scoring position for Johnny Giavotella. Johnny 1 for 3 with a base hit. Facing Luke Gregerson, now 32 years of age. Second season with the Astros, had 31 saves a year ago. Trying to bunt his way on. Valbuena being tested again. 2 down.
Valbuena able to come in on that baseball once again. He's done that 3 times in this game using the bare hand, and another good throw to the first base, all in one motion. Able to scoop and throw, and an accurate throw from Valbuena.
Yeah, no sacrifice. That's just straight out. Trying to bunt his way on. So 2 outs and a man at third. It's a curious move with 1 out and you're down 4 in the 8th inning. You better make sure you can get to first on that.
Well, the thought process there, you need base runners, I think, for Giavotella. So he's thinking bunt for a hit.
Again, you better be a pretty good bunter.
Especially when you're bunting down towards third base with Valbuena. How many plays he has made in this series.
0-1 count on Cole. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI triple. Down the line, that's a fair ball. Good piece of hitting by Cole. It'll bring in a run. And it's 7-4. RBI for Cole, his 2nd of the ball game.
He's used the whole field today. Let that baseball travel. Was thinking in terms of hitting that ball right to that left side of the infield, and with a shift on, nowhere near the base third baseman Valbuena. RBI single. Now 42 RBI on the season for Cole Calhoun.
Trout will look at the strike. 2 for 2. Been on board 4 times, 2 walks, a single and a double.
Boy, Trotty would love to have that pitch back, a fastball splitting the plate.
Calhoun takes off. Trout pops it up. Shallow right field. Here comes Springer, and he's not going to get there. Goes foul.
Trout's been very good this season when he's been behind in the count. 336 batting average, with tops in the majors. Almost got another base hit behind in the count.
Had a double the other day with that little flare to right.
Outstanding numbers. A lot of trust in your ability to be patient at the plate.
Breaking ball got him looking, and the Angels are done here in the 8th. They add a run as we head to the 9th inning. Houston leads at 7-4. Baseball night in America. The Angels taking on the Red Sox at Fenway. It's at 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox. Then the Yankees take on the Padres at 6:30 p.m. Pacific in a game you can only see on FS1, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Good behind those cookies treating you.
Oh, fantastic.
Settling in nice?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. Houston Street takes over here in the 9th inning to get some work in. Last pitched on Sunday. Went 1 inning in that one, gave up a hit, with 1 strikeout, threw a total of 14 pitches. This will be his 18th game of the year.
We'll go back to that Boston series. You got 2 guys in the top 3 as far as batting average in the American League, Bogarts and Ortiz. They can swing the bat. They got some serious talent offensively for that Boston Red Sox club.
Street here in the 9th inning. He's going to face Gonzalez, Altuve, and Correa. There's the matchup beginning on Friday night. Boston got shut out by the Rays earlier today. Marwin Gonzalez, the left fielder, 1 for 4. He had a single with a run scored in the 5th.
It was Matt Moore on the mound for Tampa.
Back up the middle. Off the glove there. 1 down.
That was not an easy play for Simmons. The redirect, to be able to get that baseball and still throw the first base to be able to get Gonzalez. He ends up fielding this on well on the second base side. Second base, and a quick firm throw to the first base.
Andrelton just clearing a path. Stay out of my way. Altuve looks at a strike. Single, triple, double, and a fly ball to left. Will Harris getting ready. Altuve hooks one out to left field. It's a 4-hit game.
Shortstop, number 1, Carlos Correa.
Boy, a .355 career hitter against the Angels, and he adds 4 more hits. That's 97 career hits for Altuve against the Angels.
Fourth 4-hit game of the year. Brings up Correa. Big lead for Altuve at first. Started to go, then stopped. Altuve, by the way, raised his batting average 7 points today. He's at .357.
About top career averages versus the Angels, but at least 250 or more plate appearances. Altuve now at the top, above Joe Mauer, Wade Boggs, and Cookie Rojas.
Clause in my contract says that we've got to
Automatic
put that graphic up there a couple times a year.
You should.
Altuve actually shorter than my dad. Pops was listed at 5'10".
So he could post them up?
Yeah. 2-0. 2-1. Correa with a multi-RBI game. He's gone 1 for 3. 18 runs batted in on the Angels this year. Two one. Correa fouls it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Altuve over at first. 2-2 now. Correa fouls it back. He's had an awful lot of comfortable swings this year against the Angels.
Tremendous plate coverage also. Inside, he brings his hands in very well, but he also can hit the ball the other way on an outside pitch.
Straight gets into foul with back off of Bandy and Jerry Davis.
Always remember the conversation I had with the late great Don Drysdale about hitters having a portion of the plate, and you have a portion of the plate on the mound. It's just up to you to make sure the hitter doesn't know which part of the plate is his and not giving it back. And Correa looks like he feels comfortable on both sides of the plate right now.
One out single for Altuve. 4th hit of the game. Correa skies one down the right field line. Long run for Cole, and he won't get there. Goes foul. Seems like we've had a ton of those in this series on both sides. Right fielders making long runs, having to come in on those. Full count. Borderline pitch, just missed. And imagine Altuve's on the move here. Luis Valbuena's on deck. 7-4 Houston, top of the 9th. Halos in the bottom of the 9th. To face Will Harris, will have Pujols, Marte, and Chrome. Chop made the last down of the 8th. Altuve goes, and Correa pulls one to left. That's going to get down. That is a fair ball, goes over the wall, and it's a double for Correa. It means Altuve has to stop at 3rd. 2nd and 3rd now with 1 out, and Valbuena coming up.
2nd hit of the game by Correa. We talked about how well he brings his hands inside, opens up the hips. And one hops out, one over the wall, the short wall in left field.
Intentional walk forthcoming here with Gomez on deck. There's ball 4. Valbuena had homered in the 7th off Salas. So they're loaded up now with 1 out. Gomez coming up. "16 pitches thrown by Street. 9 strikes, 7 balls. Back-to-back hits and now a walk to load him up. Carlos Gomez 0 for 3. Drew a walk in the 5th.
276 in his career with the bases loaded. Well, much better this year, 3 for 6.
That got bandied. Question, did it get him on the bare hand? And it looks like it did.
Adam Nebula going to run out there real quickly along with Mike Scioscia. That hand exposed right there, and this baseball right off the knuckles.
Should be fine to go now. Oh, 1 count here on Carlos Gomez. Gomez hits one to the left side. It's a base hit. Altuve will score. Correa is going to be stopped at third. And it's 8-4 Houston with the bases still loaded.
And this one right in that hole between short and third. Always difficult to get anything by Simmons. Replaced perfectly by Gomez.
Gomez picks up his 18th RBI. Here's A.J. Reed, the first baseman. Reed fouls it off. Correa standing at third, Valbuena at second, and Gomez at first. One around, 0-2. Oh, 2 to Reed. Down and in. One, two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Reed takes a called strike 3, 2 down. So here's Evan Gattis. 2 outs. He's 1 for 4. Singled in the 4th. One to 0. .24 pitch, 9th inning for Houston Street. 1 run in. Yes, it's punched to right field, a base hit. 1 will come in to score. Makes it 9-4 now. Gattis with his 2nd hit picks up his 33rd RBI.
Thanks, little buddy.
Here's Jake Marisnick, 8th man to come up in this 9th inning. The Angels have to get Jose Alvarez loosened down the pen. 9-4. No balls and a strike. Marisnick 0 for 4. Houston now with 12 hits on the afternoon.
Hits last night also. So their offense is starting to roll now.
1 ball, 1 strike. Two-one count. It's been a rough 9th inning for Houston streak. The rough homestand for the Angels. Marisnick pops it up, foul territory. Cron and Giavatello. Two balls, 2 strikes. Full count. .30 pitches now thrown by Houston. 4 hits allowed, 1 strikeout, 1 intentional walk. Runners are going to go. Here's the payoff. And he walks in a run. It's 10-4. So Houston Street trying to get some work here in the 9th inning. Well, they got the work, just wasn't effective. 8 batters, he gets removed. Astros lead at 10-4.
Lead this one 10-4. 2 outs here in the top of 9th, bases loaded. Jose Alvarez in the game now. Try to get a quick out. Tough batter right here. Coming up for the Astros in Springer. ERA 4.17. 39th game for Jose Alvarez. Pitch 1 scoreless inning last night. We threw 22 pitches in the game. Fastball is going to be around 88 to 91 range. Slider, changeup.
Springer will bat here with the bases loaded. 2 outs. One for 4 game for Springer. That was a home run in the 6th inning. No balls and a strike. Springer chops one to third, and this half of the ninth is finally over. 3 runs in for the Astros. They lead at 10-4. Series with another sweep, back-to-back sweeps. They took the 3-game set against the Angels at Minute Maid Park, and they lead this one 10-4 in the final game of this 3-game set as Will Harris takes over on the mound. He'll be pitching in his 34th game. 0-1 record, a .80 ERA with 7 saves. No longer a save opportunity here with the 3 runs that came across in the top of the 9th inning, and Harris will be facing Pujols, Marte, and Crone. Harris pitched Monday night, ended up going 1 inning, striking out 2 and allowing 2 hits.
Yeah, he had some stress in that inning too, but he was able to get through with no damage done. Good fastball he has with movement on there, 92 to 96 range. Slider, changeup.
Danny Worth takes over at shortstop for Correa. No other changes for the Astros. Albert 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Breaking ball, line to center, and it's a leadoff single. So Pujols with his 2nd hit of the ball game brings up Marte.
Third baseman, number 19, Jeffrey Marte.
Marte 0 for 3.
The 11th hit of the homestand for Albert Pujols.
chopper towards short. That's Worth to Altuve, and out at first. The call. Double play, 2 down.
First baseman, number 24, CJ Cron.
2 down. Halos down to the last out. A long cross-country flight as the struggles for this team continues. Cron 1 for 3, hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. Two balls, 1 strike. Evens up the count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. Halos coming into this ballgame 1-7 against the Astros this year. On the verge of going to 1-8. Halos would fall to 32-47 on the year. 3-2. Cron shoots one to right.
Nice job of getting that high fastball and hit that ball to right field for CJ Cron. 2 hits today.
Number 47, Chad Bandy.
Bandy homered leading off the second. His second of the year. 10th RBI. 1 for 4. One ball, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike.
Wonder how well that hand feels for Bandy after that foul ball right off his knuckles. Trying to get a baseball on the barrel of the bat, not off the end or on the handle of the bat.
Lifts this one out to right field. Springer moving back and dealing with that sunshine. And he'll put it away as the Astros put away the Angels this afternoon and in the series. Today the final 10-4.
Well, Altuve went an outstanding game. 4 hits, 2 singles, a double, and a triple. 12 hits overall for the Astros as Dallas Keuchel picks up his fifth victory. Weave ends up picking up the loss, now 6-7 on the season.
10-4 the final. The Angels have the off day tomorrow. They will be playing the Boston Red Sox in Fenway Park beginning on Friday night. Stick around. Angels Live post games coming up next.